What is up, boys? In this video, we're gonna take out the governor in this WildCat. We're gonna put a VM22, we're gonna put a header pipe, and also we're gonna install this coil right there. Yeah, we've been rocking this temporary setup with the throttle cable to make this factory carb work, and I'm kind of sick of it. Along with this power switch where, yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of that and run the factory one again. That is with these little plugins right here, if you would. We're gonna tie those into the coil, all that stuff. And I guess let's just get started. We got a lot of stuff to do, and I gotta do it all in one day, so let's get started. All right, it's been a minute, but we got the pulleys off, the cover off and everything. I went ahead and loosened up this bolt to make sure I can get it. And all we gotta do is just zip it right off. Just like that. Get that little washer, get the pulley. And grab that key so it don't fly off. And just set those to the side. Now, swap batteries. Now we can get these bolts off. Oh, those are tight. I already loosened this one because it was tight. You get some towels under there so don't make a mess. Just in case, because I've done that before. Remember when I said I didn't want to make a mess? Yep, that's what I'm doing. Okay, let me see if I can get this cover off and dry the rest of that. There is the cover. There's not that much oil in there. See if I can get this gasket off. I don't want to rip it. Get all that break-in dust, debris from breaking the motor in. Ugh. Okay, went over here to get some more light, and let's take out this cam. I already noticed that it is a metal cam, which is a huge plus. Those lifters are probably gonna fall out like they did. And yeah, here is the WildCat cam. Comes with it from the factory. Does that look like it's got a higher lift, or is it just me? It might, I don't know, but we're gonna be putting an aftermarket cam in this thing. We'll be modifying it a little bit, but yeah. So let me get these lifters and stuff out. Let me organize it. Because I like to keep the same orientation as that it came with. So like this lifter is gonna go with this push rod, and that lifter is gonna go with that push rod, and this combo goes on the orientation towards us. That one goes further from us. So I'm gonna keep it just like that on my sheet of paper. And there is the block. And I'm going to clean this up just a wee bit. And we're gonna start removing the carb, the exhaust, the tank, everything, so we can get this thing ready to take this governor out. All right, the exhaust is held on with these two bolts that I loosened already. And we can just pull them right out. Just like that, and like that. And the exhaust should come right out. Just like that. And let's go into the other side, remove the carburetor, remove the throttle assembly, and the gas tank. Let's remove the airbox and assembly, just like that, and yank her out. 8 mil on here. Let's take off this throttle assembly. These are some really tight bolts, so you gotta put some pressure on it. Okay, well, that one wasn't that bad. Just removing those bolts. There was one here and there was one there. Gotta take them all the way out. There's two. And this thing can just be swung out of the way. Now we gotta do the carb, but let me get something for this fuel line, so we gotta plug it up so it just doesn't drain fuel everywhere. These ones are always a little bit of a pain, but not too much to get off. Then just push this fuel line out. Oh, shoot. Look at that. Made a huge mess, just what I do. But all I know is that this thing is going in the trash. Well, I don't throw those carbs away. I just keep them for if somebody brings me a lawnmower that don't work, I'll just put it on there. And yeah. So that's out. And whoa, look at that. There could be a lot of room for shaving that port right there. Man, we could make some room in there. All right, boys, loosened up the bolts for the side cover or the pull cover and just gonna pull it right out. Look, it's blue in there. Anywho, let's get these wires undone. Just like that. We'll set aside this pull cover. Don't want to get it all scratched up. And here is our governed coil right there. So we got to remove that. And yeah, because we don't like those. So let's get that thing removed. All right, y'all, don't mind the close-up view, but we got to get this little wire out of this plastic shield. Just like that. Move over our plugged fuel line. Take the spark plug thing out. There it goes. And now let's remove these two 8mm bolts down here. Okay, these are gonna be pretty tight, so it's not gonna be fun. Oh my gosh, why were those not tight at all? Like the side cover, the pull cover bolts that go right here were so tight. Freaking busted my knuckle on something. And it hurted. It didn't feel too good. Okay, there is the factory governed coil right there. And boom, just like that, the WildCat tank is ready to come out. Just like that. Now we got a whole bunch of room. Now we can remove this. Went ahead and loosened it. And then now we can pry it up. There we go. Kind of sort of like that. And move that away. There we go. And now we can take this little clip. Just like that. And then now that little governor arm can move. Let's go to the other side and let's get that governor out. There we go. Went ahead and got the little governor arm out, and I had to lop off the little top of it because I had to push it all the way through, and I definitely didn't catch any towels on fire. Just don't worry about that over there. Yeah, also the microphone might be cutting in and out because there's a lot of background noise back there, and it's kind of annoying, so please bear with me. But I do have my little governor arm plug right here. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that thing down in there before it falls into the flywheel hole. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna tighten this bolt right down in there. It's gonna make its own threads, kind of like a self-tapping bolt. And yeah, should be good. And I'm gonna just leave it like that. Sometimes I like to put some like gasket maker around here or something just to seal it a little better, but I ain't too worried about it. And yeah, other than that, we gotta take out the governor from the inside, and that is it. All right, boys, about 30 minutes later, that is out. And yeah, I did get the washer out from the back, so that's good. Now let's just reassemble the whole thing. Simple as that. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna get a push rod, put it in the further back location. Get the lifter and we'll put that back. It's not gonna stay, but we can wish. It looks like it did stay. So let's get the other one, push that back just like the other one is. And we'll slip that right in there. I am sorry, microphone. There's so much background noise going on right now. It's probably going crazy. All right, now we're gonna get the cam and we're gonna rotate the piston and cylinder just a wee bit and line those dots up just like that. Is that perfectly lined up? It looks pretty freaking good to me. I'll push that all the way back in. And now we get the side cover. Ready for the side cover to go back on. Oh, do you see a gasket? We're not ready. Okie dokie then. Get that sucker and just kind of set her on there. Just like that. Now let's put the side cover on. There we go. Side cover's on. Now let me get some bolts and we'll torque it down to 17 foot-pounds. All right, got these things all kind of mocked up, so now let's torque them down to 17 foot-pounds. 17 foot-pounds. Now let me get this little bracket tightened up, and I think we're good. Before I forget, I'm going to put the push rods back onto the valves so that we will be good to go. Don't want to forget to do that step. Just like that. Now we're going to be ready to start this bike up. Without that, this thing would have not started. Looks like there's no gasket. It's just the plastic piece. There's no gasket on this side. That's funny. Let's get that back on. I'm sure people will make some aftermarket gaskets because some people might not want to run this plastic piece, maybe? I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious if that coil provides any actual performance. Because if it does, it's an easy upgrade you can just swap out. Maybe we'll try that in an upcoming video, see if that coil makes any more performance. Unlike a motor that we know we're familiar with, like a 224 Predator, something like that. This is my first Wildcat, so who knows what it's gonna do. All right, getting ready to put this coil on, and look at that packaging. Pretty freaking sweet. Let's get this thing out of the package. Uses an MSD little coil boot, which is pretty freaking cool. Got our plug, a nice red wire. Look at that thing. Tons performance. We even got a little sticker. Gotta figure out where to put that. But for now, we're gonna get this little unit on here. Just like this. We're gonna set the gap to about 30,000. So I'm gonna double check that number here in a sec before I actually set it. So let's just get these tightened up. There we go, coil gap set. Just to about the thickness of a credit card, if those of y'all don't have a feeler gauge. Got that installed. Now I guess we can route that wire through that little clamp over here that y'all can't see. Clamp that down, and we'll get the red wire. And we will route that through the little plastic dude and onto the spark plug. Now we can put on the side cover, but I'm gonna cut all these wires for the switch because we're not gonna use that anymore. And yeah, it just looks ugly. There we go. Wires have been snipped, and now this switch don't do nothing. So let's get the side cover back on, just like that. We'll get our bolts back in. No, wait, you know what? We probably shouldn't do this yet. We gotta put the fuel line through there. So let me not get the side cover on yet. Darn it. Well, since we got to get the fuel line on and everything before we put the side cover on, I'm going to get our gasket right here and our carb. Gonna throw that on the correct way. Gonna get these bolts into the intake and right into the motor. All right, got the wiring kind of sort of mocked up. So the coil wire goes from here all the way to the coil, which is over here, plugs into there. And here is our ground, which is gonna go right into this little side cover bolt or pull cover bolt. There we go. That's how our wiring is gonna be. And we can use the factory switch now. And yeah, a lot better than that auxiliary switch that was crimped into the ground right here on the gas tank. Anywho, let's get the gas tank on so we can run this fuel line right over yonder, right through here, and to the fuel line, or the fuel dude nipple thing. Yeah, cool. Okay, so put the little dudes in there, and just like that. Okay, got the little line through there, and look how nifty that is. Now we need to get a little cutoff switch and a filter to go all the way to here. That's about it. There we go, fuel line's all connected with the fuel filter. I ran out of valves, so I have to go order some more, but for now this will work. And I have this new black fuel line that's kind of similar to the factory stuff that comes with it. I used to use that clear stuff, but it hardens up and is terrible quality, so I'll have these linked down below. I like these a lot better. They last longer too. But with that being said, now let's get the pool cover and put that on. And we're not gonna forget to put our little ground washer dude through there. We are indeed getting close. Putting some oil in her now. Put the filler in. And let's do our splash of STP. There. And then now I just, oh my Lord, I spilled oil all over the floor. Gosh darn it, that's not good for the floor. forgive me for not having my mic on, but yeah. Let's see how many pulls it takes to start this thing. Hopefully it's just one, but yeah. Kill switch is off and oh my god. Literally one. Also, yeah. Freezing. I need to do the idle a little bit, but that's really about it. Look at that. Okay. I guess let's go take this thing for a ride. I went ahead and put the torque converter stuff on the other side just to, I didn't think y'all wanted to see it again. So let's go take it for a ride. All right, boys, went and ran a quick errand, but got the GPS app going. Put that in the pocket. And now let's start her back up. She should be ice cold. So yeah, start her back up. See how many pulls. And there we go. Just one pull. I'm bringing a screwdriver with us just in case we need to mess with the idle a little bit. But yeah, I guess let's let it warm up a little bit and then go for a little cruise. And we'll do a top speed run so I get a little bit comfortable with it. So yeah, I'll get back with you when she's warm. 212 slop will go crazy. Whoa! Let me fix the idle a little bit. Point exactly. There we go. Sounds about right. Alright, well, I just want to see if it made its top speed already. I think it was 45, 46. We've already been faster, and I barely gunned it just a little bit. So we're already faster than the 196 in this form. Gosh, this thing's so great. Just a little windy out today. Oh, this thing's awesome. My butt left the ground right there. I just feel it has so much more power. Okay, I like the WildCat better than the 224. I said it. I said it. This thing's crazy. The gas cap wasn't on all the way. There. That could have been bad. Alright, let's continue. This is full throttle. Well, I've never blown a belt before. Alright boys, she is home, and look at this belt. I waited till I got home so I can just yank it out. Look at that. I've never shredded a belt on a torque converter, ever. And this is the first one. So frame it, questions, maybe, I don't know. But I'm gonna have to order a belt off Coleman Power Sports because I'm pretty sure it's a different size belt than the normal CT200U torque converter kits that you get, because those are sized for a little brass bushing around the crank. These are sized for the bigger bearings. So yeah, I'm gonna order a couple of those so I'll have them on hand. But yeah, I don't have more belts for this thing, so I can't ride it. And I wasn't done riding it, man. I was getting it, man. We topped out at 50, and that's exactly how fast this thing goes. So kind of to be expected. 224 motor, and that's a 223, but we are going to build the hell out of the 223. And this one is just stock because I'm a reliable bike, and this 223 over here is just gonna get modded to hell. So I have some parts on order for this WildCat motor, but we're going to take a break of the RSV for a little bit because I have to get some belts. And next week, I think we're gonna do something else. So I did order one of those micro bikes. So we're gonna test one of those out pretty soon. They finally came back in stock, and yeah, they're expensive now, but that's besides the point. I say that a lot. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it was not fun putting this thing in the back of that truck, but you know, gotta do what you gotta do. I was not walking this thing home. I was pretty good ways from home. So, and yeah, let me know what y'all think below. This is the exact setup that we had on the 196, the exact same carb, the exact same pipe, and there's still a 115 jet in here. All we really did is just swap it over. So yeah, and it works really good. I really like it. I really like these coils. They're really freaking nice. And before I continue on, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what else you think we should do to this bike. I freaking love it. Honestly, I might like it better than the B200, but you know, we just put so much work into that one. This is just awesome. So that being said, I will see y'all next week.